Hey folks, welcome to another Old World Cloud Duel. I'm facing off against Frederick once again, this time on a inland sea small map. We're going to try a strategy against each other. I'm going to play Persia with Orator Start, similar to what he did in Game 6. He's going to try Egypt Orator with the juggling tech trick for Doctrine from Sages. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. So back on my very friendly Persia, which is great. Gotta love it. I think I'll just stay where I am. Doesn't seem like I get anything by moving apart from burning an order. Maybe a tiny bit more quarry spot up there. That's the only thing I can think of. But this city will expand by itself. So we'll go cleric, and we will go order to start. And found our capital. Discovered monasticism and founded religion. Take stone cutting, although we will very likely juggle. We see our site down here. Since there's some fog, I would like to clear that. I'd like to start that farm since I don't have trapping. Chop where I am and then start the farm. Yeah, I want to bust this fog just because otherwise I can't get a settler down there because the fog won't get busted. This way the settler can get down there. Then I'll loop along the coast and try to find some enemies to attack with. Although realistically I don't need to bust fog right now. I think it's more important to set this guy as our governor, I believe, to get a tiny bit extra growth. Speeds that up one turn, and then I can bust fog a little bit there. We'll bust it next turn. Alternatively, we could assign a general the first term. Also very viable to do. Let's do that actually. And we'll bust fog and sort of round and try to find some tribals that we can go recruit. We'll take the civics, and that concludes our turn. And we know Frederick will be going to Egypt. Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I think I don't need to bust the fog because the settler can go here, which means I actually should scout north. I think that's okay. Yeah, because the settler can move here, and then the fog will clear. It's just one tile of fog. So then I just need to find the next city site, which will be a rider seat. So very cool. All right, let's send this over to Frederick. And he's not going to record the first 10 turns on his perspective, but he'll chime in with sit reps. So you'll actually see the first 10 turns from me, and then my sit rep, and then his first sit rep. All right. Turn 2. As predicted, Frederick has taken Judaism and founded it there. No leaders yet. All right, so decided, I think, against poking that fog there. I would like to find a city site here. We can harvest these horses, harvest this wheat, and take a look up that hill, see if there's anything to see. Doesn't look like it, so pretty short turn here. We will complete this one. Turn 3. All right, we just have scouting moves to make right now. We are looking for tribal camp somewhere. Found some barbarians, which is not great. We don't want barbarians. But we can move over here. Maybe the barbarians will respawn. And we'll clear them. We'd really prefer to find a tribal camp somewhere. So that we can recruit them. But the barbarian, I guess, in a pinch. Because respawn kind of sucks. It's going to deal some damage to the scout. Nothing we can do about that right now. Right, let's send this one back. Turn 4. Along here. Scouting. That finishes all my orders. Probably keeps that where it is for now. Maybe start a quarry in a bit here. It was like a decent hunter spot, actually. So I wonder whether we actually settle hunters up here. That seems pretty decent. And this can be our Statesman site later. So let's give that a shot. Send this over. Turn 5. We founded, so we can either come all the way up here and found hunters. It seems pretty good. So let's do that. Come here, attack, and then use our on order left to get that, and that way we can actually clear that camp next, and that can just be kind of crappy city site sitting thing. We are a little short on money here. Stone cutting is coming up. I'd love to start another settler. Don't really have a way of doing so right now. I guess we can. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to sell food to start a settler. So I think we just have to council for a turn. Alternatively, we could farmer, which would allow us to grab this. Or alternatively, we could Zoroastrian Disciple. Also an option. This is kind of interesting. The Farmer Specialist gets us a lot of growth and unlocks these two, which is probably good, which gives us more growth. And we'll probably be wanting to pump out workers here for a bit. The Disciple would allow us to, we could similarly chop a bit and put the monastery here, which would grab that land. And not grab both though. So I think I like the farmer better. It'll also let me not have to buy, and we'll just settle this later. Pretty interesting turn. Would love folks' thoughts in the comments as to which call is correct. So, all right, let's go ahead and send this one back. Yeah, I think we do need the growth. We need to get some growth going. This will be a decent site. Looks like we will want to found here with pearls and crabs, and should be easy to grab those horses here. So enter site here. And then I guess the farmer will speed up that, and we can start a quarry next turn with our invisible quarry next turn. All right, let's send this one back. Turn 6. Ironworking or trapping. Feel like I probably want trapping right now. So it'll get me that. We can start a quarry. Or alternatively, we can start a mine. Turn left. Use that to move that closer to be able to settle next turn. That'll be a hunter seat. And I think trapping's the right call. It gets me another food resource, which I'm going to want for growth here. So, and I don't necessarily need ironworking right now. Though, retrospectively, I'm going to have enough food resources here. I do want ironworking for navigation. I think navigation first, then mill drill, then sovereignty. All right, let's go ahead and end turn. Turn 7. We can clear this out. Got me 50 of some resource. 50 food. That's wonderful. Okay. All right. And now we can come and settle here. Hunters. Beautiful. Red Sea. 6 legitimacies are really nice. But, 55 wood is also really nice. So I think I'd rather take the wood right now. And scout along the shore. We can always recruit Numidians. Be a little cheaper to recruit them. Once needed. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and think about that choice some more. Is it better to take 55 wood or get Numidian troops? 6 legitimacy, 55 wood. I think I would rather have the legitimacy right now. Especially since it's not going to impact the cost of recruiting them in a second. We can move over. Right, so here, I'll get a worker, and we'll be getting that first. Scout can chill for now, and this guy can slowly move over. Potentially just chill for now as well. So this is an unupgradable barbarian. Right, let's go ahead and send this one back. Turn 8, we'll look at the event here in a second. All right, so we got our slinger, and we did declare war on the minions. Some vision here. Oh my lord, there's a lot of minions. Maybe we hide. Maybe we move this way. I have to cross the river. All right. Oh, I do not want to become a diplomat. So I guess I can just take the wisdom. And I definitely want Numidian skirmisher, very strong. Thank you, yes. Move over here, heal. That one. We could move over here, I guess. It will allow us to do some damage. Yeah, I think that's worth it. 8, 5, 5. I think we necessarily need to move that one, but it can hold the site for us, so it's worth it there. All right, so hero. Let's see, what are the options? We definitely want to convert. 3 connected cities should be done as soon as we found another city. And we can marry the oligarch. All right. And as soon as we, maybe worth influencing here, because it'll give us 40, which will get the hunters over the hump here. We do have, yeah, so maybe influence rel religious head, since we're doing pretty good on money. All right, so we'll clear this site next and continue our snowball. Turn 9, influence religious head. We have a kid. Let's influence her. All right, we will attack here, and attack here. We don't have an order. We'll get an order. And is it worth getting an order that way? I think, let's see, maybe we just move here and attack. That will be enough. This can hold that. Let's move over. And yeah, farmer completed. So now we get a settler for our 3rd site, which would be Statesmen down here. And we now have the food organically from that as well as from scouting, which is kind of nice. And hopefully that river connects. We'll get a free connected city. I hope so. Okay. And we'll definitely want to get that to grab those horses. All right, let's end this turn. Turn 10. I'm going to take the stone boost because I want to cycle, because I want navigation. And the stone will be handy. You just straight up kill this. Oh my god, rebel units. That's terrible. My least favorite event. Cruel is going to suck. Adds 2 years. I just can't afford rebels right now. Right? Rebels here? No. Can't afford that. Worst possible event. Worst possible event. Very sad. Can't afford the money. Nope. What are the rebel units? Yeah, that's actually no. Can't recruit rebels. There goes that plan. All right. Well, we just are very sad, and yeah, and yeah, we're just very sad. All right, we'll get the farm up. Yeah. Okay. Well, that sucks. All right. I guess we can scout over here, see what our friends the Numidians are up to. See if there's some forest. Recruit them. Over this way. Hopefully they'll hit that. Should be able to clear that out a bit as well. Won't quite have enough range. Maybe we... No, I think we definitely move up here. Then the question is just like, do we think that there's somewhere to hide forest-wise? All right, we can recruit next turn. I don't know if that'll attack, but yeah, we can recruit it next turn. And this barb can just sit there. I'll say move barb onto site. And we'll have that settler in 7 turns instead of 5. Kind of painful because of cruel. We can't deal with those mercs, so, or we can't deal with those rebels. All right, let's end turn here. Turn 10 situation report. All right, so we've expanded here. We've got some Numidians that we're recruiting and killing as well. We found some Scythians that we can be friends with and potentially recruit from for a bit. Interesting map. Maybe I wasn't expecting Scythians there, honestly. We did get cruel on our leader, which is actually causing anti-growth, which is not great. Kind of potentially thinking about kicking him out, because cruel is really bad. But we'll persevere. I don't think I want to really burn the orders on moving him out. Got a nice hunter seat, and we're going to found our statesman seat back there once we get some orders, or once that finishes. Tech-wise, we have monotheism, stone cutting, and ironworking, and we are working on stone boost because we want to cycle so that we can get labor force, which is available in the pool, in the discard. It's in the discard pile, so it should shuffle in next. Law-wise, we're not picking up any laws, but we will pick up monotheism for garrison construction as soon as we get 400 civics, which will for sure be when we found statesman seat. No theologies yet either. No wonders yet. I'm expecting the pyramids to go to Frederick, except for there are no pyramids in this game. Cities by training, nothing interesting there. The hunter city is 10. This one has 8. Family opinion is okay. Yeah, we are influencing the religious leader, which will help a little bit. So that should give us an order from the hunters. And that will, she's plus 20, so that's decent. Science right now, primarily Parsa. So, and just starting techs. We can take a look at a quick graph of military score, 327. Resource production science, 21. And orders, 10, 9, somewhere around there. And then stats-wise, we can also look at specialists, we just have that one farmer and a farm, mine, and a garrison as our improvements, as well as we have no workers produced. Just our starting worker is doing work right now. So we're probably going to just keep doing growth and recruiting things with orators. And we haven't met Egypt, so we don't have a relative size. We're just going to continue expanding. This is a really interesting inland sea map shape. We'll probably want to get a second scout out at some point to go to the south. All right, that concludes this check-in, and you'll now hear from Frederick with his situation report, and then I'll be back in 10 turns after that.
And yet another game versus alcaras. We're sitting here at 10 turns in with our first sit-rep. We kind of know what each other is doing since we agreed beforehand what we are going to play and try out. He's going to run the Orator strat with Persia, Clerics in Persia that I did in our last game. And I'm running a very similar strategy with Egypt, employing another trick we discovered together, which we both don't expect to stick out for very long. And the trick is to get a guaranteed doctrine pickup from by using the random technology from the sages, quote-unquote random, because it only draws from the draw or discard pile of the tech and not from the hand. So if you keep your starting techs in hand by switching between them, you can guarantee doctrine, which will be the only tech in the discard pile after founding with clerics. So we are looking at some early temples, basically employing the orator to hire tribal mercs with legitimacy, and then making up for the order difference by using temples, specifically in cleric cities where we are doubling this bonus, as well as the eventual bonus from Revelation, our tier 2 technology. So basically focusing our production for our cities on economy and hiring tribal mercs to clear city sites and then settling them. We did choose a bit of a suboptimal scouting pattern, I think. This is our initial city site that got shown. I went downwards following the river, found the other free site. Since we're playing on normal tribe level, so there's always one other free site around, which is fine, but I probably should have went up here, harvested some of these. These weren't initially connected, only we are from the farmer I got the connection here. Could have harvested the sorghum, the wheat, and the horses for some good resources early on. Now we are kind of short on food for our next settler. Maybe looking for queuing up another worker. We are a bit short of cash as well. So we'll have to see. Then I got pretty lucky again with our religious leader. He is one of the starting characters was an orator, same as our leader, so we're getting an extra 60 from both being orator. Then we ran one influence mission, cost us one of our early money, but now we got him to 100, and he's running our early conversion mission against the sages. The clerics just converted this turn, so now we are looking up for some more orders in the coming turns, both from the clerics, and in 2 turns to convert the head of the sages, and then it's kind of a bit random when the family converts, hopefully right the turn after. But the clerics had 2 members following Judaism for for 5 or 6 turns, and they only converted just now, so can't quite tell when the conversion happens. We also got lucky again with our initial perk, picking up, starting with Affable again. Really good perk for early growth. I did turn down quite a few of the early ambition pop-ups, choosing the experience, so we're already level 2 and quite a few experience towards level 3 also. Picked up Warlike, got offered Warlike, the perk that reduces discontent, which we don't really need. And I think a point of wisdom was the other, but Warlike, even if you don't plan on building any military units in the next 20, 30, 40 turns, the extra training is still valuable for upgrading our tribal mercenaries. Speaking of tribal mercenaries, we went with our scout down here. He got took some shots from the camp and the one spawned tribal raider or tribal unit, and then immediately picked up the one Scythian skirmisher, moved him into cover, and we are currently winning this fight since the mounted unit only gets the bonus from the hovel but not the bonus from the urban tile, so it's only sitting at 20 defense. We are sitting at 50 defense in the forest, so we're winning this handily despite getting shot at one turn earlier. So looking good. The lakes look a bit strange on this inland sea map with this, not sure if there's a small lake here and then there's another in the middle, or if this connects up at all, and we just have a stretch of water up here. Have to see. Tech-wise, looking towards military drill, navigation, and sovereignty. Sovereignty kind of took over as the science perk instead of portcullis. And with Egypt, where we're not having many schemas, it's even worse. But it's we might be looking to grab a spoked wheel if we need the chancellor for anything related to our heirs, and then pastures are always kind of important when there's the resources for them around. Currently don't have any, so we might delay that for a little bit. But without husbandry unlocked, we don't have access to spoked wheel, so delaying it too much isn't that good. Also, there's the option to, if we can tutor one of our heirs for wisdom, have him study philosophy and tutor him for wisdom, then we can get a decent growth bonus out of a chancellor. Chancellor with high wisdom gives lots of growth. I think if we get him to 4 wisdom, it's +2 growth on between 0 and 100 opinion, and if we reach 100 and above, then another 50% on top of that. So can be quite valuable if we get if we can get the wisdom up and get the right archetype. Anyway, that's it for the early game. Like in terms of, I didn't go over the initial choice since it was always going to be Clerics, so usually these 3 crops would make also for a good landowner start, but the Orator Cleric start is kind of set in stone no matter the initial resources available. So, see you in 10 turns.
Turn 20. All right, so we have settled 3 cities and are making progress here along the way. Our army has grown. Look at all these great sites being held with barbarians. We've upgraded to a 6th strength elite cavalry. Come down here. this map, it is worth saying, is very strange. I wonder if this connects, in which case we're just going to sweep through, kill the Numidians here, clean up. Took the mission to reveal 40% of the map, and clearing tribal sites, we should easily be able to get that. Definitely really curious what's going on with this map. Scythians, had a chance to take a second wife from them, but decided not to because my wife is the head of the Statesmen family. Family opinion-wise, I am trying to convert her, using my very happy religious head to convert her, which should help. Like, for example, here, he's got plus 40. He hasn't swapped religion. She is also not swapped religion, but whenever you get the same religion, so state religion, and then you follow, so that's going to be plus 60 for her. I'm also influencing, so that'll be plus 40. So once she converts and she gets influenced, I'll have plus 100. That'll put me at 224, which will get me an extra order from the Statesman family. Primarily, we're going to be focused on getting more settlers out. I'm getting growth up in this pretty awesome hunter city. Going to get these nets up and running so that I can acquire that farm thing there. Building racks here as well to get towards those horses. I think it's worth getting that specialist up there. I'm not entirely sure. It may just be easier / better to get the settler up right away, since it's an 8-turn specialist. That's very long. I'd rather get the specialist up and running. Specialist would let me grab the wheat, but maybe it's worth better to just hard build settler. So maybe I'll take a note to do that instead. Here, I had the option of hard building a settler or getting an additional disciple out. I went for the disciple so I can start getting my holy site up, potentially get some natural spread if I get legalism as well, so I can get monasteries up. So yeah, and here we're just starting this city. So yeah, I want to sort of loop around, see what's going on here, try to clear this out. This map is really weird. Like, this is an inland sea map, and if this connects, that's going to be really interesting. If it doesn't connect, there's a very short canal or passageway here. I'll want to settle this city so I can bridge that way without having to go all around. Probably just gonna settle around the coast here. This city site has so many marble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Haven't really sat down and thought about what families go where yet. Don't really have a settler yet, so just snowballing. We have an heir. Probably should have taken the event. I had a choice to have a warrior or a courtier, and I was pinging back and forth with Frederick about it in Discord. He had a similar choice. He actually took the tutor because the courtier, even though they're pissed off, they would be from the conquered tribe. You would be able to tutor your kid. And yeah, I don't have a tutor for my children right now. So that's one downside. So actually makes it interesting to think about like cleric Assyria, because you then have a built-in tutor from the patron's family. So just continuing to refine this sort of cleric orator strat. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. Tech-wise, as you can see, we're grabbing trapping, so we can get that food growth as well. Just trying to get the city set up for production. I need to get settlers out. Want to get towards military drill, so I can start getting warriors. Barracks everywhere. Sovereignty is definitely key to get constitution. Spoked wheel, also key to get the chancellor, to keep everyone happy. And husbandry is, of course, amazing as Persia. Lots of text that I need. Citizenship going to hold off for a time. Portcullis going to hold off for a time. Drama probably can delay. I think sovereignty and mill drill will go a long way. So trapping and mill drill, super important. Navigation is, of course, priority for more orders. So we might take navigation next, I think. In which case we will maybe shouldn't have gotten that disciple. So I think I just get hard built settlers in both, actually, upon further consideration, because I won't have the civics to be able to use that either way, and I haven't seen much spread yet, so that might be a later thing after getting some more settlers out. So law-wise, I have monotheism and slavery is available, and no theologies are founded yet. Frederick also has no theologies founded yet. So he's got, let's see, he has a or affable, warlike orator with a 10-year-old girl heir, and I have a 11-year-old, so they're about the same age, same generation. Wonder-wise, he took Great Ziggurat as Egypt since Pyramids was not available and had that extra stone. Egypt always gets kind of a very early wonder. Cities by training, nothing to really see right now. Just the hunter seat at 10, everything else at 8. Current family opinion, as you can see, working on getting everyone happy. I'll also take a look at the family opinion graph as well in a second here. First, sources of science. Persia, getting this monastery up. I want to connect to the coast as much as possible. Probably should have actually built it here. It'll work out, but that way I could have enabled the river. So we'll figure out sort of, I'll build the racks here and push the coast that way. So source of science, yeah, want to get that monastery for sweet 4 science there. Taking a look at graphs, military score 853 at turn 20, which is way higher than it would be without all these units that we've got. Yeah, as you can see, we have a couple event. What I started with a slinger. Everything else has been earned through events or through orator. A skirmisher, no event skirmisher, a Libyan cavalry, a warrior from an event, and a marauder that I just got to clear this site. So yeah, it's a lot, and I'm just marching this guy down. He's very slow, but it's worth bringing the 6 unit there. So yeah, graphs, military production, military score, science, pretty much flat at 22. Orders right on 15, 16. Should be a little better once I get more and more cities down. And I do have monotheism and a state religion at this point, so just need to get those theologies down. And then the family opinion graph, you can see when we get to 200, because that gives extra orders. Looks like turn 9 for the hunters, turn 16 for the clerics, and we still haven't got the statesmen to 200 opinion, and that's super important for orders, because as an orator, you get 2 orders per city per year with a friendly family. So each city is basically 2 orders, which is enormous. I honestly think orator is slightly too strong still, especially with what we're seeing here in this game, where you can just buy tribal units with it. But I think like +1 order per friendly city and maybe 0.5 per friendly for pleased city would make it less harsh as well, where you don't have that all or nothing on 200 opinion. But I don't know, we'll see. And then very briefly, stats wise, specialists, we just have that farmer and 7 improvements, 3 farms, a mine, a quarry, a net, a garrison. So we're building this garrison. We're going to get racks up this way. Probably want to get these pearls up as well, since they're very, very useful. First, I wanted the garrison, so that I could get a governor in there. But I think it's actually worth grabbing the pearls, especially since they are statesmen family. Going to need to figure out a source of civics for this city, so I can get all those specialists and also get racks officers up. We'll see all the governors. No one particularly great, I guess. Yeah, no one's great. I could assign myself as a governor there if I really wanted to get specialists up. But I like myself where I am right now. So rule does suck. I got that from an event, which is really, really unfortunate. So slowing growth down quite a bit. And then, yeah, haven't met Egypt yet. Very weird map. Gonna scout this out, and then I guess come along the south, or double back, which kind of sucks. But yeah, this looks like it's about the middle of the map or so. So all right, that's that for this check-in. See you in 10 turns or so.
Turn 20, or rather 21, because I accidentally pressed end turn before recording this video. But it's his turn, so effectively turn 20 for me still. Kind of slow on the expansion front, very low on resources. The sorghum not producing that much food, despite being decent for growth. So settler production has been slow. Our third one is finally out. Looking to probably found statesmen on this city side. Not sure what the best course of action for the third family is. There's riders and landowners on offer. Riders being a good military family, especially with the fast light chariots and Kushite cavalry making flanking really easy. But no landowners means no builders, so and since we have quite the distance, I think we can use the builders and judges from the landowners as well as the judges from the sages to get some good military production going before it becomes crucial. So we're trying out landowners. Also, there's some good coastal resources here, and we can buy towards these two crops, since this will be the landowner seed, and it will be able to buy tiles, maybe even buy towards this sorghum up here. And then looking to found another cleric city up here, some decent growth here. The cleric cities don't need much in terms of resources. They get lots of stuff from the monastery and the temples, so just a plain city is pretty good for them. On the other hand, down here, this sage seed is pretty sad. There's no growth to fund any real civics. Probably just going to either want to turn this into a civics pump for potentially inquiries, or just building lots and lots of urban specialists to use the bonus science from the seed and get a big science city here. Like just building lots of apprentice urban specialists will, together with constitution, will produce lots of science in the city, but with no growth we have a bit of a trouble getting lots of specialists in here. So kind of hard to make this into a good city. Might just turn it into a regular military city with officers and just use it to produce units. It's getting decent culture since these 3 honeys have been ticking away. And sages have judges, as I mentioned, so we should be able to build a decent military city, and we only need 4 specialists for that, so that should be doable fairly easy. On the other hand, the inland sea shape is kind of strange. We have one small lake here. Not sure if there's another lake in the middle. I'm suspecting there is, because we don't see any mountains. We can see here some volcano peaks piercing through the fog, but there's nothing here. Like this is it's visible, which is the mirror of these mountains. Ah no, and we can see some water here, right? Some water here. So we're expecting a central lake and 2 small lakes here, making the situation quite different from a normal inland sea. You can build coastal wonders in relative safety, since you can't get ships over here to snipe them. Fortunately, no lighthouse, only a colossus, but you can probably build a temple here and some other urban buildings towards the coast here, and this city should easily be able to build a colossus. Just a question of having the iron. We're not trying to go heavy into iron, since our unique unit doesn't use iron. We kind of only need iron once we reach cataphract, or a lot of iron. We need some beforehand for spearmen, but maybe we can get the colossus online. It's a decent wonder, giving us some extra civics everywhere, or everywhere that's connected, but it's pretty much everywhere. Yeah. In terms of mercs, we are looking or eyeing up these mercs here, just waiting for a few turns until this ticks down below or upwards over -100. So we are getting the mercs for a bit cheaper. And then we can grab 2 units here and start clearing this camp out. We have a merc sitting here, but without any. This is a Scythian camp, so we need to keep this occupied, otherwise it will respawn, and it will take a while until another settler gets there. Depending on if we can clear this out with those 2, we're moving the settler either down here or over here. Kind of low on food. Filling up time with a quick treasury, and then returning for settlers. We're also building a granary here that's improving food by a lot and growth by a lot. So this is over 6 growth and 20 food. So once this is down, we're looking to get a lot more settlers out of here, and probably a few more disciples. So then let's look at some stats. Minimal population and one farmer. We would also want probably another farmer here, but we don't have this specialist quite yet. It's the no landowner capital, so no extra citizens. That was the wrong button for replay instead of records. Then 7 technologies down. We are of course far ahead in science because we have doctrine over him, which is a lot of science for this state of the game. Only 10 improvements. So not too much going on here. Military score, just a few mercs. I think family opinion is kind of critical. Here on turn 15 we made the jump with the sages to over 200. That's when our orator bonus kicks in. But with only our limited amount of cities, still not too many orders, just 4 extra orders for our 2 cities. Just spiking along because of worker production. Not much in terms of resources going on really. Science, this is the monastery coming online, and there's with 2 cities S3Z not much going on to show here. Family opinion is kind of the most important part. Quick look at science. I have of course these. Going to grab a quick early military drill to get some barracks online, more urban specialists for science. After that we're looking into, we definitely want pastures to be possibly the chancellor unlock, depending on if we get some good chancellor candidates out of our heirs. And looking up to get navigation eventually. Colonies or serfdom is still rather important, as well as the we can take this and already have 4 laws between monotheism, orthodoxy, and probably freedom, since the sages like freedom, and we're planning on getting a bunch of specialists and serfdom, so those would already be 4 laws with no law down from the sovereignty line. Still, we do want sovereignty, definitely. This would be our next 3 laws for our tier 2 unique unit before we even need to go into courthouse or citizenship. And we of course want constitution for our early science boost. So current plans, military drill into navigation, and then going down to sovereignty with eventual stop on husbandry and spoked wheel. Eventually want spearmen as our main infantry unit, as we're playing against Persia, and Persia is cavalry, same as ourselves. He's probably expanding ahead of us. I'm expecting him to have 3 cities out with those 3 victory points. So he settled these, I think, 2 or 3 turns ago, so he's quite a bit ahead of us. Probably he's bought some food, which I have not done very much, but also because I've been running the influence on I think spending money on influencing here, as well as the first tutoring. One here is quite more expensive since our courtier doesn't like us. Picked the courtier up from clearing the camp. We knew he was not going to like us because we're at war with the Scythians, so, but any tutor is better than no tutor, so looking to spend our money here and not for buying resources. So yeah, planning on expanding. We have these mercs in the south, planning on pumping more settlers out of our capital, as well as out of the landowner seat eventually, as well also grab a bunch of growth, as well as some extra money resources, which we are lacking. The orator draining some, as well as the royals, but also the units are also costing us, although that's just a little bit right now, but once we pick up more mercs, these mercenaries do cost money in upkeep. Anyway, see you in 10 turns.